I'm going to go through a few levels of this, all these different terms that people like to use. The first one being, can you tell us the difference between a spirit and a spirit guide?
I think all spirits are spirits. A spirit guide is a spirit who is guiding.
Simple enough.
You know, maybe the spirit of your Uncle Harry that's gotten a job as a guide.
Okay. Do you believe in the term ascended masters or anything like that?
I wonder if we don't, as a human race, perceive all of those things in our own way. I think that there is a divine consciousness that is beyond our conception. And so we as human beings conceive of and try to understand this divine consciousness in many different ways. That's where all our religions come from. That's where all our philosophies come from. But my hunch is that the ultimate truth is beyond any of our conceptions. Does that mean our conceptions are wrong? Absolutely not. But I think they are our conceptions. And the fact that this ultimate source is beyond any of our conceptions makes it all the more sacred and makes our conceptions all the more sacred.
From your experience, do we have certain guides that we come into this life with? In other words, is there like one master guide, key guide, the guide who stays with us throughout our lifetime, someone who decides to stay in the spirit world the whole time while we're here on the earth plane, and they're going to stick with us, throughout that. That's their job, we're doing our job, Do you believe in that sort of thing?
I believe that I have had an energy around me my whole life that guides me, and that guide has been with me throughout my life. Perhaps I came into life with that guide. I also feel that there have been other energies, other presences that have come into my life to help me at times with my mediumship or with other specific jobs that I'm doing. When I've spoken to different mediums, quite a few of us feel that sometimes our guides change as we develop as mediums. There may be one energy working with us for a while, and then there's a shift because we need another energy. You notice I use the word energy more than guide. That's just how I perceive it.
Okay. All right, then my next term would be angels. People like to use the term angels. Same thing?
I think that there are spiritual energies and spiritual realms that guide us. Some of us see these as angels. Some of us see these as ascended masters. Some of us see these as imaginary characters. I resonate with Tinkerbell. Very inspirational for me. To me, it's not the term that we use or the way that we label the guidance. It's the energy of the guidance. I want to know what's behind that vision of an angel. What's behind that vision of a spirit guide? And just think about this. What if we were life in a different form, on a different planet or within a different realm, something we don't even conceive of? And then we would conceive of these angels and spirit guides within the form of our own life form. Like, let's say we were a life form that to us as human beings we might look at and call mushrooms. All right?
Sure.
Well, then everything that we conceived of in the eternal world would be conceived of from the point of view of our life form as a mushroom.
Right.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
I always come up with more questions than answers when I contemplate these things.
Well, no,
There's a part of me that wants to take all of my spiritual philosophy and put it in a little box and say these are the 10 points and make the bullet points and say 1, 2, 3.
Right.
But then what am I missing by doing that? I want to leave it wide open. I want to explore. I want to resist putting labels on things. I want to resist trying to classify everything. Because my mind can do that, and I'll feel like an authority, I'll feel like I know, but I think by doing that, I'm going to miss what's out there. So I'd like to I'd like to remain an adventurer, an explorer, and always be willing to say, well, maybe this is the way it is, but maybe it's not. Let's not try to pin it down so much.
I'm going to give you another label then.
It's all right.
Well, I've heard people use the term ghosts, and I've heard some people refer to ghosts as earthbound spirits, and you hear people talking about ghosts in their house. And what is your take on the ghost?
I love to talk about ghosts, because when my grandchildren ask me about ghosts, you know what I tell them? I say, ghosts are spirits in their Halloween costumes. I do believe they're earthbound spirits. And I think they need help, and I don't think they're spooky, and I don't think they're scary unless we make them scary. Yeah, there may be some spirits that are scary, just like there's people on our earth that are scary. But I think we sensationalize spirits a great deal, and that's a shame. We bring in the spooky music and all this fear of ghosts, and I don't think that's the way it is.
Why would someone become an earthbound spirit?
Probably for many, many different reasons. They might have had a quick passing, they might have died in a real tragedy, they might have been in such grief they refused to go. Again, we come back to the question of, I don't think we can really say why people become earthbound spirits. We'd have to find out from each spirit why this spirit is earthbound. And so then when a medium goes into a location where there's a spirit, the medium needs to talk to the spirit and find out why they're there.
Have you ever communicated with an earthbound spirit?
Yes. As a matter of fact, when we first moved to Massachusetts, my husband, who doesn't believe in ghosts, finally came to me and said, there's a noise in our basement that I have tried every which way to find out what it is, and I can't get rid of it. I think it's a ghost. And at this time, I didn't even know I was a medium. But I went down, I sat in the basement, I felt the presence of a woman, and I felt like she was trying to tell me that she was very upset about the condition of the house. And the house was in terrible condition when we bought it. And I assured her that we would fix it up. And it wasn't in terrible condition from her, because she was the owner of the house previously to the people we bought it from, okay? And she wasn't happy with what had happened. And I just felt her conveying all this to me in the same way that pets convey information to me. It's that same thought form. And so I promised her we would fix up the house, and she went away. We never heard the noise again.
Amazing.
And I've also gone out to a few houses where people have had spirits that are having problems. I don't have the opportunity to do that too much.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who do that full time.
Right.
They have the equipment to go out and measure where the energies are. So I wouldn't say that that's work that I do on any regular basis. But I have had those experiences.